introduce the members of the board. All the way to my right, Bob Signetti, John Bowner next to me, who is going to be the clerk tonight. I'm Becky Kilborn, Jeff Sauer, and Ken Jarvenin. From the Code Administration Department, we have Rich Maloney, our building inspector, and Kathy Archambaugh, our secretary. I'm going to ask everybody to turn off their cell phones so they're not ringing during the meeting. I believe we have minutes from the last meeting. Can we have a motion?
So moved, Madam Chairman.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. So the procedure for tonight's meeting, our clerk will read the case, and then we'll ask the applicant to come up here and present the information to the board. We will ask questions of the applicant after they present their information, and then we will go to the audience to see if there are any comments or questions from anyone in the audience. After we go back to the audience, we'll go back to the board for deliberations, and based on the comments from the board, we will, I'll tell you what your options are. We're going to start with the continued cases, and then we'll be going to the top of the agenda. If you'd like an agenda, there should be up here and outside in the sleeve, so if you want to follow along. We have 5 cases tonight.
Is the newspaper advertised one case wrong, so if anybody is here for 7 Glendale Drive, that is actually on October 7th, the paper just advertised it wrong.
Anybody
Okay.
here on 7 Glendale?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Is that one with the garage? Oh, never mind.
No, they put it in, it ran one series early,
Okay.
so it's just wanted to clarify that.
Okay. All right. No problem. All right.
Good to go?
Let's go
Thank you,
forward.
Madam Chair.
Move forward.
It's our first continued case, William Moody, docket number 19-4832, requesting a variance for a garage. Proposed setback side and rear to be 5 feet in accordance with Table 2, Section 7 of the Danvers zoning bylaws at 39 Pine Street.
Is there anyone here? Oh. Hi. How are you?
Good evening again. Building Karen McGinnis, 39 Pine Street.
Okay.
So as proposed from the last time we met, we made adjustments to the garage, proposed garage.
Okay.
So the adjustments that we made were, the committee requested from 32 to 30 feet. So that's the right view, or right setback, we'll call it. The next page is the left setback, which is the back of the garage.
Did you give us a new plan?
Yeah. Those are new.
That's what you're looking at
This plan?
No, the
We
ones-
dated September 17th.
those are the ones.
Pardon me?
I didn't get anything.
Those are the ones.
Okay. There's not a new site plan, you're saying? You
Oh,
just,
that's the wrong one.
No, 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 sorry.
That's 8.
Should be a packet folded up.
You need 30.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't.
We date September 17th?
Yep. Is there a site plan?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, just the,
Okay, I have that. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
just the 4 elevations in the floor.
Okay. All right, so why don't you go through what you originally proposed and now what you're
All
proposing?
right, so the front page of the packet you're looking at,
Yes.
which is the front of the garage, or the right setback, was
Okay.
originally 32 feet.
Yes.
It was reduced 2 feet.
Okay, so it's 30 instead of 32.
30 feet, correct.
Okay.
The left setback, which is the rear of the garage, no more dormer, no more windows, no windows out the back whatsoever, just plain roof.
Okay.
The third picture is the side view from the rear setback. No upper window, which looks towards the neighbor's yard.
Okay.
and the fourth is the foundation plan.
Okay. So you're at 28 by 30 now?
Correct.
Okay.
No, yeah, 28 by 30, no dormer, no windows out the back, no window out the side,
Okay.
and
So,
no soffits on the sides. It's gonna be a soffit on the front
yep,
and the back. The foundation will be at 9 feet, the soffit will be at the 8 feet, which we were requesting. It's an 8-foot variance.
okay. So you're gonna be
Just
8,
for the pitch of the roof, it's a 12 pitch, it needs a little bit of a soffit, the front and the back. So the foundation will be set at 9 feet, it'll be a 1-foot soffit.
okay. So your setback from the rear and the side are gonna be what?
Well, the left setback is 8 feet.
Okay, if we're standing on Pine Street, the rear setback would be behind the house, so
That's 7 feet.
7 feet, okay, for the rear setback.
Correct.
Okay. And
And the
the
side
side
is-
setback on Pine Street?
Is 8.
And that's the left side.
The
8
left
feet.
side,
Okay.
okay.
We're at 8 and 7.
The garage doesn't sit the way that the house sits in accordance to the setback
Right,
reference.
okay. All right,
And those are the changes.
and you met with your neighbors and you're all good?
Yes.
They're here? Okay, all right. All right, I'm gonna go to the board for questions, comments.
I have no questions.
Okay.
I have no questions either.
I have no questions, Madam Chairman, thank you.
I don't have any questions.
And I don't have any questions. And questions, comments from the audience? Do you want to say anything?
Okay.
Okay, all right, back to the board.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I thank the applicant for making the adjustments, and I would vote for this.
I will vote for this.
I'll vote for this too.
And I'll vote for it. Thank you for making adjustments.
Madam Chairman, I move to grant the variance to build a garage into side and rear setbacks from 15 feet to 5 feet at the rear and 7 feet on the left side.
No,
No.
no, it's 7 at the rear.
7 at the rear,
Eight, and 8 at the,
I'm just reading what it says here.
Yeah.
man.
That was my original draft, Bob, sorry.
7 at the rear and 8 on the left side, according to section 7, table 2 of the Danvers zoning bylaws. The hardship is the topography of the lot.
I'll second that.
Do you want to read in the other,
pieces, do you need the other?
no windows?
The variance.
The dormers,
Just the plan submitted, dated September 17th.
okay, okay,
As submitted.
okay, on September 17th.
I made notes on the.
You did? Okay, all right. Is there a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, now you can meet Rich in the hallway. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Good luck.
Yep.
Okay. Madam Chair, this is our next continued case. Robert Ringoff, docket number 19-4827, requesting a dimensional variance from side and rear setbacks for an addition in accordance with section 7, table 2 of the Danvers zoning bylaws at 56 Wenham Street.
Hi. We missed you at the last meeting.
Yeah, I don't know.
What happened to you? We're like, where are they?
When was it?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and
So you came last Thursday.
Yeah, I came last Thursday.
That's when it was on our calendar, so.
Okay.
apologize for
All right, so you're here now, so go right ahead.
So, again, after we left the last time, we did not have the official block plan with us.
Yes.
And 15 minutes after we walked out, I received it.
Oh,
So, I don't know if you've had a chance to review, but based on what we have,
You
we
guys have it?
that's this one, right?
Okay.
are most updated.
Yeah.
Could I have a copy of it? I misplaced mine.
Yeah.
Stated July 15th,
Here,
correct?
thank you.
Yeah.
And I was out there, I saw that you spray painted the ground, so.
Yeah, just kind of give you an idea.
That's a
I figured
good,
you were coming
yeah,
out, so.
yeah.
so you had an
Thank you.
idea. So, and I know, I believe it was you last time, Ken, who had a question about where the property job. As you can see on the right-hand side of the property line, we're looking for, it goes from 5'4", the existing, to 4'2". And then with our existing structure off the back, we're already within that 20-foot variance, but we're looking for an additional 10 feet essentially off the back there.
This is R3.
Three.
This is front, rear, side.
16.5 feet.
All right, so the rear setback is 20 feet, and right now you have what?
Right now, existing, we have 16 feet already that we're impeding on that 20 foot. That was an existing non-conforming
Yes, this, all of
structure
this.
that was there when we bought the house. So we're looking to add an additional 6 feet to that, 6.5 feet.
So we're at 10.
And then
Alright.
on that west corner,
Yeah.
off the property line, it shows 7'3". We pulled off the fence line before we knew what our property line was, which gave us the 10. So,
Okay,
That's why we do these plans.
yep, no, understood.
okay. So you haven't made any adjustments to the building, you've only provided
once we
us
got-
with a
With the
plan?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right, so we'll look at that now. All right, Ken, do you want to start? Questions?
So the structure's height was no higher than the existing structure, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Especially,
A little low. Yeah, and behind you was all, looked like it was all trees and stuff like
yeah,
that?
behind us.
Yeah.
Right, it's that Toomey Street extension, which goes around that subdivision back
This
there.
is what they gave us.
But then also those,
And we have
yeah,
3
they're
lots.
now, yeah, like,
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
tight
but-
in that corner.
yeah, it's like all these woods,
Yeah,
all, not the woods, just like
a hill, I think.
shrubbery.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
I know.
yeah. All right, I have no other questions.
I have no questions, Madam Chairman.
Thanks, Madam Chair. All right, so I just want to clarify. So currently, your existing setback is 16.5 feet,
Right.
and you're asking to go to 10. It's the
Yes.
rear setback, okay.
Well,
then-
7.3.
7.3.
Yeah, 7.3.
Sorry, 7.3. Okay. Where 20 is required.
Yes.
Okay, and then on the side setback, you're currently at 5.4 and you're looking to go to 4.2.
Correct.
And the square footage of the addition,
1,600 square feet.
1,500?
16.
16? Okay. And I think someone already asked, same height as your existing building.
No, well, lower, no higher than the existing
Okay.
structure.
I have no further questions.
The addition is not going to intrude, or it's going to stay along the line of that house.
Correct.
You're not pumping out it.
Nope.
Okay, and you're measuring from the furthest point,
Correct.
which, is there an eave or anything up there?
No.
Okay, I have no other questions.
Okay, so what is right behind you where it looks like a,
Directly in the back.
Yeah.
That is the Toomey Street extension there. It's
a paper street or?
no, it's from my understanding, and I don't know if Rich can comment more on this, but it's basically a barrier between our property line and that subdivision.
Because of the subdivision, they needed to have something all around it or something here.
It was an open space subdivision, so they're required to have a,
Oh.
open space in it,
Buffer zone?
so it wraps around that.
Do we know how, is that standard with all, or does it depend on the open space?
Typically, they have that around the perimeter.
But I mean,
Tied
as far
them,
as,
so
a-
you can get to, so all the open space is tied together somehow.
so is it, but I mean, is it standard like, oh, it's always 5 feet, or it's always 8 feet, or?
No, they're all different.
They're all different.
They're all different. This one isn't, this might have been one of the first clusters we did, way before my time.
I wish we knew that, because there's a, it looks pretty thin right there, but it's a pretty decent amount of distance between our fence and then our neighbor behind us.
Oh, I went back there, I looked.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I looked at it, but it was just, you know, it looks like there's a space between the two fences, and
Right.
it's not really clear what it is.
Right.
Is that yours? Is that on the other side? You know, it's odd that there's this thin strip that's fenced in, you
Right.
know, and I don't know why, you know, they did it that way. Okay, so, I mean, my biggest concern would be you've got a 20-foot rear setback and you're only going to 7.3. So, I know the side is already tight, and you're making it a little tighter, but, you know, I'll save this for my comments, but I don't know. And I think we have other questions. Jeff?
Well, I just wanted to ask the building inspector, that buffer strip then is technically not their rear neighbor's property line.
That's correct.
No, it's part of the open, I mean,
It's another piece of property, not,
Commonly
it's
owned?
the open space part of that.
It's town land.
No, no, no.
It's not
Not
town
It's
land,
owned
no,
by
no.
all the people in that subdivision.
All the people own that land.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it says, the trust name is on here. William
Oh, it's a
Wilson
trust.
There's a trust, yeah.
Okay.
But so our neighbors there have no idea though. So like when
Oh, okay.
they own little pieces or something,
Yeah,
they know all about our.
I mean, typically with a cluster, everybody owns that common land,
Right.
everybody in that subdivision or group of houses, you know.
So yeah, we bought in 2015 and they.
Does, I got a question. Does anyone mow that or maintain it?
Well,
I.
my neighbor and I maintain it, we kind of split the duties of just weed whacking and, because our kids play together, they cross
So
through
they
there.
just,
Yeah. Yeah, but you just do that section?
Yeah, I mean, basically from my property line.
So
over.
the rest of it just goes wild?
Well, so it's strange, this, as you follow the line, it actually, there's no more fence after, the people directly behind us, so it's like open yard.
So the people just use it as their
Yeah, people
backyard?
use it as their own.
yeah, but I don't, no one ever goes back there besides us, I don't think. I've never seen it. And then, I don't know exactly where their fence is, but we mow that way too, because the kids climb over their fence, but when we're hanging out, the adults walk around like civilized people. So, I mean, it might even be this person's property, but.
No, I was just
No one-
wondering who maintains
Okay.
it, that's
Yeah.
all.
Okay,
Yeah.
We share-
It's kind
we
of
share
more
the
like
duties.
woods, yeah.
okay.
Okay, I
All
don't have
right.
any other
Were
questions.
there any other questions from the board? No, it's a little confusing. All right, any
Okay, no,
questions, comments from the audience? Mr. Duggan?
Wenham Street.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Matthew Duggan, Town Meeting Member,
Yeah.
Precinct 1. Just to comment on that open space, so that's sort of a crescent-shaped piece of land that's supposed to be not developed, right? So it was part of that original development where the owner was required to put that land into a trust. So it gets bigger as you wrap around, and it abuts the MBTA right-of-way
Okay.
in the back. So from what I can tell, it's just wild, you know, like it's not groomed or anything where it's along the rail trail. So,
Okay.
but that somebody should be watching that, because over time, people can kind of take adverse possession of that land,
Yeah,
because no
we
one knows. You heard, people don't know what that land is, so now suddenly, oh, it could be my land. So, you know, I don't know if it's not really the town's responsibility. I think it's all the people that have a vested interest in that property should all work to make sure that that's kept open.
I have the same thing in my neighborhood. There are 5 houses, and they share in mowing all of
Yeah.
the common area.
So it benefits them all.
Yeah.
You shouldn't allow any one person to
Yeah.
take possession of it. So just a little history lesson.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Let's go back to the board for deliberation.
Yeah, I'll vote for this. I could see the shape of the land, you wanna keep the structures in the back all in line, and it's just the way it is, so. I'd vote for this.
Okay.
I don't think I would vote for this at the way it is. I think the 7.3 feet out of 20 is too tight. And since they're developing a new floor plan, I don't see why there isn't any reason why they could move the master bedroom, walk-in closet area forward and get some of, at least half of that setback back. So I won't vote for it the way it is. I
Okay.
think it's too tight.
Is there,
No, we can't.
oh, no.
We're in deliberations now, so thank you. I'll come back to you, though.
Okay.
All right? All right. John?
Although I do echo what Jeff says, you know, typically we've always gone to half of a setback. I think given this buffer area and that it's kind of, you know, no man's land, for the 3 or not even 3 feet, I think I'd be okay with it, so I would vote for it.
I just want to ask the bill, just to confirm, on an R3, it is 20 feet from the rear?
Yep.
I don't know why, I always thought it was 30 feet from the rear.
But I mean, this looks like, I want to make it clear that when you look at the plan, it looks like there's an eave on the back of this building, so
Oh, well, that might
this is
be
that
right.
back corner that you're talking about. So if you're voting on this,
It has to be measured by that spot.
that's a 24 by 26 footprint for the garage, so
Plus 2 feet?
plus whatever that eve,
So it's only 5.3.
Okay.
I can't tell, but it looks,
Okay.
there is an eve detail on the back of that building,
All right,
so. I
Madam
want you
Chair.
guys to be clear, because I'm, if you grant this, I gotta go out there and,
Yeah, I think based on that, though, I would take that out.
That
It's too tight.
It's too tight,
Yeah,
okay.
5 feet's too tight.
All right.
So I would not vote in favor.
The side setback, I don't have a problem with because it follows along the house. I do think to go from 20 feet to 7.3 is a little much. Given that, I won't vote for this.
All right, so you don't have the votes to get approval, so if you can find, he says, if you can figure out how to like pull it forward, I'm sure we would approve it, but I think it,
How much? So that, if you look at the plan to the, we're trying to build it off the existing house.
Right.
So we
Yeah.
have like a nice, so we have.
You
the
want it
picture
consistent,
window, And
yeah.
yeah, so we have a farmer's porch and stuff, so it kind of doesn't make sense to bring it closer.
Yeah.
It doesn't, so that's why we
Doesn't give
really
us
like
line of
it.
sight.
Make it smaller.
Right, like, yeah, the
Okay.
property's so awkward, we're not gonna be able to like sit anywhere and see them, we'll just
okay.
kind of.
So just so you're clear, not only do we count the foundation of the structure, but we count also any overhang. So it looks like your building overhangs 2 more feet than what you're showing here on the plan. So it's even closer than you have drawn here. So it's really 5.3 instead of 7.3. And with a 20-foot setback, I mean, usually we're willing to maybe go half, so 10 feet. But what I'm going to suggest to you is that you take a couple weeks and rethink it. You can get a continuance to the next meeting and see what you think you want to do. But you don't have the votes to get an approval tonight.
And Madam Chair, I don't think any of us have a problem with the side setback.
Yes.
Because you're already there. And so that's no more detrimental than what
Although
exists.
they're adding more on to the
Yeah,
back
it's-
to get it closer.
It's
so
gonna
they
be a
could-
little closer, but, I think
Right.
none of us have a problem with that.
No, they follow the line of the house, I
Right.
don't have a problem with that. That eve could be a problem if
Go
you can
ahead,
dump the
I'm s-
eve.
Say it
Excuse me.
again?
I was gonna say, if they can do it without an eve, then they can gain a couple of feet right there.
It's already at 5.3.
I'm okay at
No.
7.
If we took the eve out, yeah.
I'm okay at 7.3, but I know Jeff said he's not.
I just think it's a little,
Yeah, I'm not either, so that's where I was starting.
And I didn't
Okay.
know about that until I probably wouldn't have voted if it was 5,
Yeah.
5.3, so.
So do you want
I
to,
mean, I would consider taking the eve out, but I don't know.
yeah, I don't think that's enough.
Okay.
Okay, so,
I mean,
then-
if that's not enough, then we'll just look at the design again.
okay. So,
Next one is.
the next meeting is,
October 7th.
October 7th.
Okay.
All right, and if you want to give us some new plans, you know, we can work off of this, but just tell us what you're doing. The new plans need to be to the secretary by October 1st, which is the Tuesday before the meeting, so that they can get the plans out to us.
Okay.
Okay? All right, so you want to continue to the 7th? Is that enough time?
Yeah. Sure.
Get your architect and all that. Okay.
Yeah.
Madam
Have a
Chair, I make a motion that we continue this case to our October 7th meeting.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Good luck. So, which is looking the rear, one of these pictures, yeah, this is the rear. Yeah, that's right, close to the rear. I didn't notice that.
Okay, all set. Madam Chair, this is other, under other business, and this is the case of Brian Armand, hope I have that right, docket number 19-4819, requesting a modification of garage size, not setbacks, to 89 Pine Street.
Hey there.
Hi.
Sorry, I might have caused a little confusion for you between 89 Pine and 39
Yeah,
Pine.
that's
Yeah.
right.
I picked up on that. I spoke to Rich last week on this issue. Were you gonna,
Yeah, he came in, he wanted to bump the garage a little bigger in the non-setback area, and I just thought it'd be prudent for the board, because it's, you know, got a variance for it, and just to make the record clear that the changes would have to go back to the board, just as a, other purpose.
we're not requesting any change to setback or anything like that. I just hope the board would consider changing the decision to say a 16-foot wide garage instead of a 14-foot wide garage.
And just to be clear, you originally requested a 16-foot
Correct.
garage, am I
Yes.
right? And-
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
And you, yes, and I came back.
You moved it.
16
made it
by
smaller,
24,
yes, and then,
okay.
You know, when looking at the building plans, planned usage, looking at the site, said, you know what, if we move it a little closer to the house this way, we can go to 16.
Okay.
Changing the setback.
Because you didn't want it closer to the house originally when you were here before, right?
Sometimes we have to,
I'm just trying to remember the conversation.
You remembered it right.
yeah, yeah. Although you weren't actually at the second meeting.
Yeah.
so it is, yeah.
Okay. All right. Bob, we'll start with you.
So you want to go back to what you originally asked for and we didn't agree to?
No,
Because you had the same setbacks, right?
no, I'm not asking for any change to the setback. I originally asked for 5.
No, the size of the garage I'm talking about.
I'm sorry, so, well, yes.
You're asking for the size of the garage that you initially asked for, right?
Correct.
That we decided was too big and we lowered it. The setbacks were the same either way, weren't they?
No.
No, he wanted it closer to the lot line.
So he was 2 feet into
He made the garage
setback.
smaller to get more
So we
setback.
didn't think he could fit the garage that close to the house.
He wanted a 5-foot setback and we agreed to 7
5 on the
Left.
left.
The side setback.
And now you've got what's the rear setback?
100 feet.
Yeah.
All right,
Same, yeah.
All right, so all we're talking about is that
Side setback, yeah.
5 setback to a 7-foot setback.
Yes, however, I'm not asking for the size.
He's not
setback.
changing the
That stays.
relief granted. It's just that in the decision,
He's moved the garage so he can make it bigger, but you got it in back of the house almost now,
He's
right?
going 2 feet to the right,
He's going 2 feet
closer to the
closer to the
house.
house.
Towards his deck.
It's the
just,
same
we want the
setback
record to reflect what he wants.
that we approved.
No, I understand that. if I remember correctly, and my memory's not as good as it used to be, people on this board said, your garage is too big. And I don't know whether that reflected the setback or it didn't reflect the setback.
I can't remember without the.
I thought it was too close to the line. I didn't care about the size. So we made him
All
go
right,
closer to,
What I'll do is I'll listen to everybody else, and
Okay.
then we'll see.
Okay.
All right, so just to be clear, your original garage size was 16 by 24, but you were looking for a side setback of 5 feet. You reduced it to 14 by 24 to give yourself a 7-foot setback,
To meet the
which,
board's
which is
desires.
what we voted on.
yes.
Now you're back here looking to go to 16, but you're still gonna maintain the side setback.
Correct.
I have no further questions.
I have no questions.
I have no questions.
I have no questions. Is there any questions or comments from the audience? Yes,
Brad Street.
Mr. Bradstreet. Everybody helping me.
Bill Radstreet, Town Meeting Member, Precinct 1. As I said at the last meeting, I know the family, I know the area. If I was a voting member, I would be voting for this.
Okay. Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you.
So you're
He
in
recused
favor.
himself.
Yes.
Anyone else? Okay. So back to the board for deliberations.
I'll abstain right now. I want to hear what everyone else has to say.
Okay.
Well, I think I understand. I wish we had the minutes so I could see the details of what we did discuss on the night we approved this, but to me, it appears, the applicant's infringing on his own space by making it 2 feet wider. He's not changing the setback we relieved him of, so it's cutting into his, space, so I think I'd be okay with it.
Pushing it closer
Yeah.
to his deck. Yeah.
I would, vote. in
I will
favor.
vote for this. We granted the 7-foot relief. I'll stick with
Okay.
it.
I'll vote for this.
Okay. And I would vote for this. You need the vote.
All right, I'll go along with it. I will vote for this. I just have a problem
Yeah, I get what
with
you're
somebody
saying.
accepting a decision and then coming back and
Well, I
saying,
know,
I
because we
don't
could
accept
drive
the
ourselves
decision.
crazy doing this, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I'll go along with this time,
okay.
but I won't make the motion.
Do we need a motion, or we, yeah, I guess
No, it's just
we're just
You
approving?
amend it.
positive vote.
You vote to amend,
So,
whatever.
Madam Chair, I move that we amend the decision dated, I guess,
Right here, 8/12.
8/12, to reflect that we are going to allow a 16 by 24 garage in place of a 14 by 24
With a
garage.
7-foot setback.
With the same 7-foot setback we originally voted for.
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, good luck.
There you go.
Good luck.
Okay. You good?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Madam Chair, this is the case of Michael and Debbie Tiernan and Alyssa Hayden. Docket 19-4834, requesting a finding to alter an existing non-conforming multifamily structure in accordance with section 3.11.2 of the Danvers zoning bylaws at 47 Collins Street, units 54 and number 150.
Yeah, it's actually two applications,
Yeah.
two property owners, right?
Well, it's one property though, so
One property, but two condo owners.
it's only, right, before the board granted a blanket approval
Uh-huh.
for the whole condo development, but with a 10-year moratorium. So that has since expired, and when this gentleman came in, I said, well, do you want to just do a blanket, one like you did last time? And the condo association didn't care, so this is specific to only 2 units, and if somebody else wants to do it, they're gonna do that. I can't speak for them, so.
Okay, so do we have two property owners here? You own both units?
No, I own one unit and my daughter owns the other.
so I'm talking for her. Elisa Hayden is a pink letter in there that says I can speak for her.
Do you want me to read this in?
Or is it blue? I'm
Blue?
This one?
sorry. I set one aside just for that purpose.
No?
No, that's from the condo association.
That's it there. Yeah.
This one under here?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, she gave me permission to speak
Here it
for
is.
her.
You want me to read that?
I would say yes.
Madam Chair, we are in receipt of a letter from Alyssa Hayden, owner and resident at 150 Village Post Road, 47 Collins Street, Unit 150, hereby authorizing Michael Tiernan and/or Debbie Tiernan, owners and residents of 54 Village Post Road, AKA 47 Collins Street, Unit 54, as proxies to represent my interests in the matter before the zoning board regarding modifications to my unit, enclosing the deck into an additional room. My proposal will be presented in conjunction with their similar proposal for their unit. Thank you for consideration. Sincerely, Alyssa Hayden.
Okay, so what would you like to do?
We're looking to enclose the porch, which has been traditionally called a sunroom.
Okay.
In the previous incantation, which started in 2003. It's just adding a roof in the walls and building up that porch to be an additional room for use.
Okay, and other people have done this, right?
Lots of them, yes.
Okay,
My wife and I have talked about it, we're actually thinking that it might be as close to 50% as we.
okay. When I drove through, it looked like there were a number of them, so, yeah, okay. So you're saying it was approved for 10 years, but now,
Yeah, the board, in 2003, the board issued a finding, and they put a 10-year moratorium on it, and that has since expired, so that's why the gentleman's back.
2003? Okay,
2003, that
okay.
expired.
And nobody's applied?
People have come in and we've explained what they have to do.
And then
They
they
run
walk
for their
away?
hills?
The first person that pursued it.
Okay, all right.
Silly me, I read the instructions and it was reasonable, so.
Okay, all right. So, Bob, you want to start with you?
Sure. This is gonna be just for your unit?
Correct, for my
Both
unit.
units aren't gonna use this?
2 units?
No.
Two
there's
separate units.
Two separate units.
That's what I'm saying.
Both gonna do the same thing.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
A tenth of a mile apart.
I gotcha. And then, that shed's going, right?
That's correct, yes.
All right, so now I understand. And I see the trustees got it pretty well in hand anyway, on what you can do and what you can't do. And I have no other questions. I did go out and look at it, and it was easy to find.
I included that to make it easier. That's actually mine, 54, to give you an example of what it is.
This picture here.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Just so you knew what we were dealing with.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks exactly like that too, as a matter of fact, when I went out there. I have no other questions.
Okay.
Madam Chair, maybe, if I could,
Go ahead.
building inspector. So Rich, they would just use the existing footings that are holding this deck, or is this?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay, so you have to,
Yeah, my guess is these were built,
It's a building
1980,
question.
70, late 70s, early 80s, and then they're underbuilt.
okay,
What we have found out, we've had structural issues out there.
We know.
okay.
So, yeah.
So I guess,
So no, we would require the footings to be exposed, and if they're not adequate, then they'd have to.
okay, and so, I guess that's a question for you. So you are doing footings on a foundation?
Yes, we are, yes, that's part of the plan.
And then, so what happens to the bay window?
That's actually a conversation you don't want to have with my wife.
Okay. No, I'm gonna have it with you.
Actually, the big window might end up becoming trash, but we're kind of hoping we can take 2/3 of it and put it sideways, what you would see facing, or be over the bulkhead that's there.
Okay.
But I honestly don't expect it to work.
So, and this would be one large opening into the unit itself, or it's a doorway?
We would close where that window is now.
Mhm.
The outside wall would come up to that, and we were expecting to put that window in the
To
that,
be a room.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a room.
It'd be a room.
so we're gonna probably end up going with like a 5, I believe the plan is a 5-foot window now, and that picture window may very well just become left open.
Okay, and clearly this isn't, it meets setbacks, because the, well, no, the deck wouldn't
It's a
have to meet
condo
setbacks, huh,
association.
right? Yeah.
There's half of the units already have done it.
I have no further
There's
questions.
no setback issue.
No, okay. No further questions.
Okay.
I have no questions, Madam Chairman.
Ken?
I have no questions.
I have no questions either. Are there any questions or comments from the audience?
Okay, both units are gonna do this, right?
Correct, actually, the same developer is doing, same carpenter is doing the work, he's starting with the other unit and then doing ours.
Okay.
Okay. Are you all set?
I'll vote for this.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't have a problem with this, I would vote please.
I'll vote for both of these.
okay. All right.
I'll vote for this too.
And I'll vote for it too.
Thank you very much for your time.
Just a
hold on.
minute. We gotta make a motion and,
All right,
Do we need two
I make a
separate
motion,
motions?
we grant the finding to enclose the existing rear decks on units 54. And you've got 150, but it's not, it's 50, I think.
No, it's
150.
Is it 150?
Yeah, 54 and 150.
54 and 150, the maximum size will be 8 by 16. Yeah, this will not be detrimental than what presently exists. And then we've got, 47 Collins Street.
Do we need two motions? Or
No,
do
it's 155.
we need two motions for the two separate properties?
He read
No,
them both.
Because
He read
I
both.
gave two addresses.
Okay.
27 Collins Street, he gave the two addresses.
Okay,
54.
all right, great, thanks.
Okay, can I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. You can just meet Rich in
Meet
the
with Rich.
hallway. Thank you.
Good, thank you.
All right, good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you for your time, everybody.
Okay, Mike.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it is 150 and 54, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
weird, huh?
we looked at 154 before we bought 54.
There you go.
Okay.
All right.
Good to go?
We're ready for Mike. Go
Okay.
for it.
Madam Chair, is our last case of the evening. This is Fellows Construction, Inc., docket number 19-4835, requesting a finding to add a dormer to a pre-existing non-conforming two-family in accordance with section 3.10.1 of the Danvers zoning bylaws at 91 Dayton Street.
Hi, I'm Zach Fellows, I'm here with my associate Mike Panzero. We bought this property without basically looking at the second level in it. There was a tenant issue, and after getting into the second level, we noticed that it's not very good for an apartment up there. It's a one-bedroom, it's very tight, it just doesn't work. So after getting into the barn and seeing that somebody dumped a ton of money into it, we decided that the barn would be a great area to make another unit, and then take the front unit and make the bedrooms upstairs, keeping the historical value of the house and everything like that. We've done a lot of historical renovations in town and kept houses instead of tearing them down. It conforms to all the setbacks. We're not changing the footprint at all. We're keeping the height the same.
Okay. So, can you tell us what was in there?
It just looked like storage space to us. It looked like somebody years ago dumped a ton of money into it with TGI flooring and underground plumbing and everything, and they just never finished it. I'm not sure if it was ever permitted or not.
Okay, so. We'll
We can probably answer that one for you.
wait for Rich to come back so we can ask him. When you bought it, there was one person living there?
There was a tenant on the second floor,
Okay,
and the first floor was vacant.
okay.
We weren't allowed to go in upstairs and review the property because there was an issue with the tenant and the owner.
Okay, all right.
And that tenant is no longer
I
there.
looked in the windows.
No. No,
It looks like there's a little bit of work to be done.
there is.
Yeah,
Needs a lot of updating and fixing, but the front house has a lot of nice character.
okay, that'll be nice, and the location is great.
It is.
Okay, it's a huge lot,
Oh,
Yeah.
boy. Could Build a bowling alley.
I know. Do you want to explain the lot to us before Rich comes back?
Yeah, so it's a nice flat lot, I mean, it looks like it goes back quite a bit. I think the lot's over 200 feet deep.
Mm-hmm.
It basically, you know, it looks like, you know, you could have maybe built something else there, but we decided to keep what we had and keep it in the neighborhood, keep it looking nice.
So the jog on the left, what is that?
That's like a patio.
No, this.
The lot line, that's really odd.
Oh, so yeah, that's the back of it, yeah, it's just an odd sized lot. If you've been to the property, you'll notice it's like a big field in the back.
Right.
I'm not sure why it shoots to the side like that at all.
Okay,
570
Within all
feet.
the setbacks.
Holy
Okay.
moly.
and the, all right. It's all right. We're waiting for Rich.
I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, Rich.
Okay,
You guys need
so we're talking about this property on Dayton Street?
Yes.
And wanting to know what it was originally zoned for and how it was used before they bought it.
Well, it's a two-family house.
It is
It's a
definitely a
pre-existing,
two,
non-conforming two-family.
okay, okay.
So when it went for sale, a lot of people looked at it. A lot of people wanted to tear the house down, build a bunch of units out there. There's some wetlands way out back, so, they purchased it, they came, they said, you know, I said, you know, it's a two-family in a one-family neighborhood, so, they just wanna remake the two-family inside the existing structure, they just needed some headroom in this back, so that's a finding, two-part
Okay.
finding,
Okay,
to raise
all
the
right,
structure. Just because it's, the twos aren't allowed out there by right.
okay. All right. But it's a pre-existing,
Pre-existing non-conforming, yes,
okay,
that's
all
why
right,
it's a finding.
all right. So you want to make the first, so right now, the front of the house, the first floor was an apartment and the
Yes.
second floor was an apartment.
Yes.
And then there was that huge addition on the back, which was whatever. It looked like a dance hall to me, when I looked in the
It was
windows.
full of a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a huge area,
Yeah.
okay. So you want to make the front into one unit and the back into,
To one unit.
One
Each
unit.
person will get their own garage bay that's existing.
okay, all right. And there's a two-car garage there?
Yes.
Okay. That makes sense to me, all right. We can start with Ken.
So, how much higher are you going than the
We won't be
existing?
going higher than the existing building at all.
In the back, you know?
The existing building in the back, the roof line just, we dormer up the side, so the
Yeah.
bridge stays the same.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So you're just coming up like 4 feet or something?
Exactly.
Okay. All right, I have no questions.
I have no questions, Madam Chairman.
Can you tell me what the square footage will be of each unit?
I believe the rear unit, if I can remember correctly, is right around 22, and the front unit is almost, I want to say, 3,000.
Wow.
That's like two houses.
That's a lot of space.
Yeah, that's big.
There's like a weird connector, I don't know if you went to the property, and that connector has like a bedroom and a bath in it, almost like if you had your in-laws there or something.
Mm-hmm.
So
And that's gonna stay,
that's
but
part of
that
the
stuff,
front unit, yeah.
okay. But the bedroom and bath are gonna come out?
It just gets reconfigured, you can see on the plan. We do keep the bath, and that unit actually has, I believe, 5 bedrooms in it. It has a first floor bedroom, and then 3 upstairs.
And, so the front unit's 5 bedroom, and how many bedrooms will the rear unit?
4. 3 up, 1 down.
And so, can you talk to me about parking?
So it's a pretty big driveway, as you can see, and then what we'll do is when we sell it, we'll deed the people their spaces. So we'll divide it up. We haven't thought about how to divide it yet, but we cut it down the middle. Person in the front gets the left, the closest garage, and the rear person will get the furthest garage.
Well, how many parking spots are you gonna provide?
I would think that they would be at least 4 per unit, at least,
Including the garage or not including?
not including the inside of the garage. It would be 1 car in each.
And this won't go to planning, correct?
No.
I have no further questions.
You guys did a house on Dayton Street before, didn't you?
Yeah, we
Yes,
did,
150.
Yeah, you did a nice job on that one.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, well, no, I went out there and I looked, and you got that big white house in the front. And then you look down the side, and there's a side door, another side door, and another side door.
Yep.
Now, the dormer is gonna go on the third side door, or the
It
second
would be
side
the
door?
French doors that you saw, yeah, the double French doors.
No, I'm talking about which roof is it going on?
They were in the back unit, so there's one side door, the second side door goes upstairs, the third side door goes into the basement, and then there's a set of double French doors, that's the whole back unit.
Now you really got me confused.
It's on here.
There's a lot of doors.
See where it says
Yeah.
proposed dormer, all the way in the back?
The dormer is gonna go on the last unit.
Yes.
Okay, now I got it. The middle part is part of the front house. Are you gonna condo this, or is it gonna be,
I would condo it, yes.
you're gonna condo it, huh? And then you're gonna need assigned parking spaces and that
Yes,
kind of stuff.
exactly. We've dealt with this a lot in Danvers,
All right, and other than the dormer, you're not gonna
not changing.
go
anything.
sideways, frontwards, backwards, or anything?
Nope.
All right, I don't have any other questions.
Okay. So I guess, my request would be, that we have we don't have a site plan, but that we come up with a specific number of parking spaces for each unit. Five seems too many to me.
Okay.
I mean, that's a lot of pavement, but, whatever
Put it
you,
down to
you were
three.
saying like 4 + 1
Yeah,
for
I
the
mean, you
garage?
think if it's 4-bedroom, I mean, it just, if the kids grow up, I don't know, I'm just trying
What
to
do
think
they need?
ahead, but we're okay with 4 spots.
Two.
How many,
You're not dealing, it is a two-family, so what that arrangement inside is, doesn't matter, they can come in and get a building permit. The only reason they're here is to raise the roof,
Right.
you know what I mean?
so you don't care how many parking spaces they have?
We don't regulate on 1 and 2-family dwellings. If they were coming in for a special permit to create the two-family,
Yeah,
then you guys would get a
So this
site,
is
because you'd
already-
be the site plan authority in that case.
okay,
In this case, it's already a two-family, and again, they could come in for a permit and remodel that, move that, we don't care, it's already a 2. How the internal arrangement is, we don't care.
okay,
What they do outside, we don't care. But because in this case, they want to raise the roof, and it's a non-conforming use, that's why they're here, is to raise the roof.
Just to add the dormer.
Just add the door, yeah.
it's a lot of space, so, okay,
Two big units.
yeah, huge.
Well, the bottom line, if they,
On Mike Panzero, if we didn't do the back unit, the garage, the space would just stay there. The other building, what do you do to it?
Right,
So if you keep the front as a two-family, what do you do with the barn?
Right.
You know,
we give
now
them
the
shared
barn
storage.
becomes, that's a nice structure in the back.
right,
Now you have a barn, a big giant barn, empty. So who gets the barn? And then the front house is all, when you go inside, the layout is, you get lost after you go this door, that, like you said, you go through this door, you go through this breezeway, it's another room over here, so now eliminate all that.
Yeah.
And make it one big home. Change the bedrooms where they're supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, and just rearrange the footprint of the house, basically, inside it. Keep
Okay.
the exterior to the same, nothing changes.
okay, all right,
I would say that if they're gonna condoize it, people aren't gonna buy the condo unless there's adequate parking.
yeah, I understand.
So they're gonna have to accommodate, if they wanna
They're
sell
gonna
it.
have to pave enough of it.
Yeah.
The lot's
We're
huge,
gonna have to have the garages condo, that each person has their own garage.
yeah, I mean, the lot is huge, so there's plenty of room.
Yeah, there's plenty of room.
So, it's over an acre. Okay. Are we set with questions?
Yep.
Okay. Questions,
Audience?
comments from the audience? Mr. Duggan?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Matthew Duggan, Town Meeting Member Precinct 1. Just couple questions about the property. So I recall that the person that inherited this property went before the Preservation Commission last year, and they issued they considered it historically significant and worthy of preservation. So has that expired? Has that, that
Well-
freeze on doing any demo there? Is that
There's not gonna be any
expired?
demo. There's no demo
They're
here.
not tearing it down.
Okay.
They're adding
I'm
to
just
it.
wondering if it had expired already.
I'll ask
They're 6
Mr.
months, so.
Rich, do you have?
Not 1 year now.
Oh, it's one-
not-
Okay, maybe
Yeah.
it was more than a year ago.
Yeah, no, they're not proposing any demolition, it's a
Yeah,
complete
well-
interior remodel and raising the roof. The barn structure is actually not old. There's an addition put on. Actually, I don't know, it looks like it's about
Yeah.
20 years old. Yeah, the garage was the barn was added on.
Was that permitted ever?
I think we had an issue trying to find the records on that, right?
Yeah.
It's not old, not as old as the house, put it
Did
that
that
way.
answer your question?
Yeah,
No.
okay.
Yep,
Uh,
so the,
So, so they're not tearing
Yeah,
anything
that's fine.
down,
I was
they're
just
just
curious.
adding to the existing
yes,
structure,
Bruce.
and so
And,
I,
I just want to say the applicant should be commended for not tearing it down, because I
right,
think that was the fear of the Preservation Commission, that the house, I understand, needs a ton of work inside, all the
Oh,
wiring and
it's-
everything. It was like a rat's nest in there, so, you know, it would have been probably cheaper just to, you know, level everything.
right.
So, you know, and then just bill all the way back, because that goes way back. So I had a question about the way back. That open space that's way in the back, is that gonna be, come condo? Like, who retains ownership of that for future development?
Well, apparently there are wetlands back there, and at least that's what
Yeah,
you're
it doesn't
saying.
stop
And
anybody.
they're not asking for any development back there.
I
I
was
mean,
just
that
wondering
would,
who was gonna
Oh,
own that land.
what he's saying is, once it becomes a condo, now the condo owners own that land back there. Can they sell it and put up another unit?
Well, they gotta come with,
Isn't that what you were
To the board,
asking,
right?
kinda?
Yes.
Yeah.
I-
The problem with this lot is a lot of people looked at it. It's very narrow,
Yeah.
so it didn't lend it, the only
There's no
thing,
frontage, yeah.
it's a very skinny lot, and there's wetlands out in the back, so it really, again, a lot of people looked at it, and the development options on this were very limited.
okay.
Very limited, so.
So it's unlikely something would happen.
So if a condo association wanted to build another building back there, could they?
Well, they'd be before this board,
Okay,
you know,
you'd
I
have to
mean,
come.
not without approval
it
then?
would be, right, you could ask for,
Okay.
you could ask for any, these gentlemen actually thought about
Yeah,
trying to get a third unit in there. and
well, I
that-
would have bet they did,
and I
yeah,
said, that's up to the zoning board of appeals.
Right.
So they thought about it, and they thought, they
right,
asked about raising the roof, I said, well, that's a reasonable request,
yeah,
but I thought the third unit might be difficult, and, but anyway, that's up to the board, but they did not ask for that,
okay,
so.
okay.
So just again, the applicant should be commended for saving this, the front building with the 5 and 4 and a door. I think that's from the 1700s, so, you know, there's a lot of history there, and, you know, I'm sure it'll be a nice place, once it's all done.
1771,
Wow.
amazing.
Well, these gentlemen saved 50?
Yeah.
Center Street. Center Street. One of the oldest properties in town, they remade that one, right at the end of Hobart Street? Yes.
Yeah.
So that's.
Skip Latito's old place? Is that
You
the
like
one
to
you're
get
talking
beat up, huh?
about? Right across from the church?
Yes, that's right across, that was the first buried house in Danvers.
That barn kept falling down.
Yeah.
All right, I got the right house, yeah. Yeah, before
All right.
that guy, Skip
Where did I
Latito
start?
owned it.
Did it start
I'll,
with you?
yeah, I'll
Okay.
vote for this.
Okay,
I'll vote for this.
all right.
Yeah, I mean, these are big, units, but I don't see a problem with it. I think, it'll be nice to have it be useful again.
Okay.
And I'll vote for this. I know these guys, they did a nice job on that other house in
Yeah.
Dayton Street.
And I'll vote for this. I mean, I think that the fact that they're big, these are mostly single-family houses there, so you're probably gonna get families, and it's not like you're squeezing in a bunch of one-bedroom units, so, and you do good work in town, and we know you, so thank you for, saving another property in
another big
town. And, I'll wait for a motion here.
I move that the board find that the proposed dormer addition as shown on the plans increases the nonconformity.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move that the board grant the finding for the proposed addition as shown on the plans, as it will not be substantially more detrimental than what presently exists.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
Good luck.
Good
luck,
luck.
gentlemen. Good luck.
Thank you.
Bye now, thank you.
Good night.
Do we have any
Madam
other
Chair,
business?
motion to adjourn?
Thank you.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Good night, Danvers.
Good night, Danvers.